Hello, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well this afternoon. Wanted to get on here and go over this week's forecast. I did do a new moon forecast, but I did it on Facebook Live thinking I could download the video and transfer it over to YouTube, and it didn't work. I don't know if it's because of the laptop I was using. I don't know, but it wouldn't work. So if you do want that new moon forecast, you are going to have to go to Facebook to the Astrology Witch, and you will be able to see that forecast. And it stands ground for 2 weeks, and we're still in it. So my apologies here to my YouTubers. I don't know what happened, but it is what it is. Mercury's retrograde, right? I wanted to get on here and talk about the forecast for this week and some of the remedies. Not remedies. These are not cures, but what I'm going to give you, the information I'm going to give you today is about boosting our immune system. This is key, the immune system. And I've talking to a friend who I'm trying to get her to launch her own YouTube channel because she is a first degree witch. She's one of my good friends, and she is an absolute pillar of knowledge. And I did a reading on her recently, and just certain things and aspects that came up, I'm like, why didn't I think of this sooner? So either way, she has given me some really good advice on how to boost our immune system with the coronavirus. I'm going to get into that in the second part here. First part, what I'm going to do is go over the forecast really quick, okay? We did have a leap year, which was very, very lucky for a lot of people. Leap years have a tendency to bring, I'm getting the hiccups, hold on. Whew. Leap years have a tendency to bring luck for a great many people. So, and many numerologists believe that it is a lucky year. What else can I say about leap year? Usually with leap year, because, it's every 4 years that we add an extra date to the Georgian calendar. And, instead of 366 days in a year, you get the usual 265. And this energy on the 29th usually brings our vibrations higher. We're vibrating on a higher frequency. And sometimes this can bring more compassion to people, optimism, love, excitement, all those things, seeking higher consciousness. And all kinds of spiritual awakenings are very possible. And you guys have a whole year to find out what's going to happen. So I'm hoping when Saturn moves into Aquarius, universal love, the planet of universal love, but also the planet of rebellion, sudden release of energy, that moves on March 21st. This energy shifts, and it's going to take on a little bit different tone in the world, especially in the United States and on the political aspect of things. We are under a very strong Saturnian Capricorn energy. It's very strict. It's very conservative. It's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Old-fashioned thinking. This next energy coming March 21st, though, moves into Aquarius. Saturn feels very, Saturn and Aquarius can do very well together. Even though Saturn is in its governing sign of Capricorn right now, very comfortable in Capricorn. The only ones that are benefiting from this would be most Capricorns, because if anyone can handle Saturn, it's us Capricorns. But Aquarius in Saturn, very comfortable and can get a lot done. You're not going to see the full effects of this, though, until that dragon tail leaves Capricorn on May 5th. So in the months to come, we'll talk more about this. I told you there were days of caution coming up for this week, and those dates are March 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Keep in mind that those are the highest concentration days. That energy is a few days before and a few days after those dates as well. It's usually 1 full week of this energy, and this is a moonic energy, so it has a lot of emotional ties. This is the moon energy, Moonic. The USA will be in the spotlight. Many people see beginnings and endings of life at this time. Abrupt relocation for some. Sometimes the outcomes are not as positive as they are for others. It can be family heartbreaks, natural disasters, earthquakes, bad weather also joins in on this energy. Matters involving real estate, hospitality, and family are on the agenda, along with endings of certain phases of our lives and others, both positive and negative. So just you'll watch the news and you'll see what I mean. Now, Mercury is retrograde, but it is in Pisces right now. So a lot of us have been feeling very lethargic, kind of dreamy. I'm in a dream world. That energy is going to change very soon, and it's going to become more. It's moving into Aquarius. When Mercury does its best when it is in Aquarius, even when it's retrograde. Mercury in Aquarius is the genius of the zodiac. When it's retrograde, it'll even have more, be more eccentric and have more deep thought and deep thinking, and the thought process will be meticulous. We're going to come out of our fog, though. And like I said, Mercury does so much better when it's out of Pisces and headed into Aquarius. There's much better level-headedness with this placement. Communication improves somewhat. Even though we're still retrograde, communication is going to improve. And we aren't fully out of this retrograde until about March 15th. That is the green light for it to be fully out of its retrograde. Now, souls born with a Mercury in Aquarius, you are like I said earlier, natural born geniuses of the zodiac. You're going to be involved in anything that has to do with scientific endeavors, technology, space, UFOs, any kind of new age matters. This also represents astrology. Astrology is the stars. Aquarius rules the stars. These souls have a high intuition, and there's intelligence in spades. Every person I've met with this placement is very, very smart and very, very intelligent. Listen to them. The very same day, on March 4th, though, Venus moves into her governing sign of Taurus. Venus, remember, is the goddess of love. So this energy is all going to be about love, beauty, the arts, finances, spending money on aesthetics, so spending money on ourselves. I did in my full new moon forecast, I was talking about going and getting your hair done because the moon would be in Taurus. Well, now Venus has moved into Taurus. The moon is now out of Taurus, of course, but Venus in Taurus is the perfect time to do those beauty remedies. If you do it in a waxing moon in Taurus on top of that, that's a double Venus energy. So if you are one of those people, I don't say ladies because I've stand corrected. There are men out there who get things done to their face as well. So if you are one of those individuals who does like to spend money on themselves for aesthetics, such as, this is the perfect time for new makeup, buying new makeup, visiting your hair salons, new wardrobe, massage. This is also the perfect time to get into all those fillers and injections like Botox, Restylane, anything you're going to add to your body, you want to do it in these stars and in this energy coming. So yeah, anything you want to add to the body, perfect time to go to a Medi Spa. And the stock markets always make the news in some sort of financial way. The 4th is a few days away. So I'm hoping things get a little bit better in the markets. I've said the stock market was going to crash. I told you guys this. Now, I didn't think the stock market would literally crash because of a coronavirus. Now, that I could not see coming. I knew respiratory diseases are on the rise and on the way because the next dragon going in is Gemini, and Gemini rules the lungs and the respiratory system. And I think this coronavirus thing is going to get worse before it gets better. But I had no idea. I knew the stock market would crash. I just did not think it would be through something like this. So just so you all know, I am human too. I'm not a psychic. And even some of my psychic friends didn't say I see a disease coming. No. So anyway, if you are in the stock market, I'm hoping it's going to get better, taking a better turn starting March 4th, but I don't know. Cryptocurrency has taken a little bit of a hit too, not quite nearly as bad as the stock market, but it's taken a little hit and prices are low. And if you are thinking of investing in crypto, this is the excellent time to invest because prices are low. Okay, any soul born with Venus and Taurus, you're going to be very beautiful, magnetic, and money will flow much easier with this placement than any other, unless it's Jupiter in Taurus. They usually have a lovely singing voice, you know, like Adele. I believe Adele is a Taurus. They prefer romantic settings with decadent food and drink, intimate settings, and lots of pleasure. The downfall with this placement is not letting go of their past, whatever that may be. They are very possessive and jealous and think more about the heart and using the head sometimes. So that is a common trait with Taurus and Taurus energy. They think with their heart and not their head, when sometimes they should be thinking with their head and not their heart. Enjoy, like I said, enjoy the next 10 days of the waxing moon phase. Invest some time in yourself, your looks, new clothes, eat chocolate, have champagne, and be happy. The next full moon coming is, let's see, it's this week, I know. Maybe it's next week. The 9th. So it's next week. And it's in Virgo. And not one of them, that's not too difficult of a placement. And we'll talk more about that next week. I'll do it by house and sign for you guys. But I'm going to try and post. Hi, Gail. How are you? Blessings to you, love. I'm going to put in, so I was having this conversation with my friend who is a healer. And she does a lot of Reiki. And she is a chakra healer. And she's just an amazing soul, and I've learned a lot from her through the years. And I've taught her a lot with astrology. So we were talking about the healing process and this coronavirus and whatnot. I'm sorry, I have a bit of a tickle. If you could just excuse me for 1 minute, my cat is scratching at the door. Hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. Someone wanted out. Coronavirus. I know there's a lot of hype going on in the media, and it is scary. We are in some scary times right now. I told you about the onion thing the other day on my first video. And then I told you could get the juice remedy. Let me see if I can find his site again. Bear with me. There it is. Put that up there. I told you could get the juice remedy through this site. You do have to pay $5 and you can get it. I told you I wouldn't share it because it would be plagiarism. However, if you are a client of mine and you have gotten a reading in 2019 or even this year, shoot me a message and I will give you that recipe, because you're a client. You've invested, and comes with the training, and I've helped other people with this. So, and it looks like this. I have it sitting here. If you could see this, this is about a 2-ounce glass. This is called Natural Blood Transfusion, and it's a juice. I can't tell you what's in it. I sent you to the site where you could yes. Aw, thank you. It's nice to see you too. But it looks like blood, and it is called Natural Blood Transfusion. And clearly you can tell if it is made with beets. That is one of the key ingredients. I sent you the link where you can get it. If you were a client of mine, then you just shoot me a link on Facebook and I will let you have this recipe. It is a vile drink. If you thought the water and oregano oil was vile, this is even worse. And I'm not even going to attempt to take a sip of it, because it's something I've just got to like sit and brace myself for. It's not the most pleasant. You won't throw up, but I will tell you, I juiced a whole bunch of it yesterday, and I gave my mom a glass. I gave myself a glass. My kids were like, "Get the hell out of here, lady. I'm not touching that." I have something else for those who have kids who won't touch this. Start out with this amount. This is 2 ounces. You cannot drink any more than this for the first day or two. Okay? Because it has something called horseradish in it. I've juiced horseradish, yes. Because it has something in it, you have to acclimate your body to drinking this. So you would start out with 2 ounces, and it took me about a half an hour, like a little kid trying to finish his peas at the dinner table. It took me a half an hour, maybe 40 minutes to finish it. Even my mom was like, "Oh," but I have to tell you, it gave me, you know how coffee gives you that burst of energy? People drink coffee to wake themselves up. I drank 2 ounces of this, and about an hour later, I was like zooming through Home Depot with my daughter going, wow, it was like a natural burst of energy. And this is just pure antioxidants. Everything in here is oxygenated. So nothing like a coronavirus or cancer. If you have cancer, this is an ideal drink. It really, not saying it's a cure, but this juice has been known to reverse the effects, slowly reverse, not cure, but reverse, shrink a tumor, things like that. I hope they don't come out at me and try and kill me, like big farms listen to me or something. But anyway, that's Natural Blood Transfusion. I can give the recipe if you are a client. If you are not a client, you will have to go to Patreon with Dr. Louis Torrey and Taranya, and you can pay the $5 and get the recipe there. However, I have discovered a couple other remedies. My mother was telling me about this. So you can even go online I'm going to bring it up in my documents. Bear with me. You can go online and look up 2652. They have all kinds of different numbers. 26 clove garlic soup. Okay, yeah, you're going to stink, but in a good way. I have one that's recipe here. I haven't made it, so I don't know if it's good or not. I usually do the juice, but I'm going to share that. No, cancel. It won't let me share that. Maybe I will have to share that probably on my Facebook page. So Gail, I'm going to share that recipe on the Facebook page as soon as I get out of here, because it won't let me share it. Yeah, it won't let me share it for some strange reason. Anyway, there's that as well to boost the immune system. Now, there is another remedy, not remedy, but way to boost the immune system. And it's an idea my friend gave me because she is a distributor for doTERRA. And I was telling her, you know, I cannot get 1 drop of the oregano oil down my kids' throats. She goes, okay, we have another option here. So doTERRA sells these. I'm sure other places you can even get it on Amazon. They're called veggie capsules. Yes, there is lots of fear out there. And you know, I'm glad you brought that up, Gail, because there is this thing going around that people with melanated skin can't get the coronavirus. So that means people with melatonin in them. So anybody with darker skin, African American, Latino, even Italians, well, half of my relatives have really dark skin. There's a rumor out there going around that they're unsusceptible to this disease. Please do not believe that. If you bleed red, I don't care what color your skin is, you are susceptible. I'm not trying to feed you into fear. You keep up your immune system and you should be okay. But don't feed into nonsense like that. Human beings are susceptible. We are one race, a human race. And right now, that's the race that's being affected. There's another way to get these things down, okay? And you don't have to do the oregano oil in the water, but what you can do is these veggie caps are clear. If you can see that, they're clear and they come apart, okay? So what I've been doing for my daughters, because they refuse to do this, I give them, now there are oils and then there are oils. Don't get, if you're going to ingest an oil, and I know I had a big debate, there's a family member who I had a big debate about this with, and when she has a degree in something, we'll talk. But my friend has a degree in this, so this is why I am going on her advice. You don't just ingest any oils. They have to be the highest quality and the highest grade. So you want to go with a company like doTERRA. You want to go with a company like Young Living. Those are the two I'm aware of that have high standards and high quality, high grade oils. Not all oils are ingestible, okay? Some are. You have to find out before you do this, okay? So let me get my oils together that I'm using. Okay. So you can get as elaborate as putting 1 drop of, you could get as elaborate as putting 1 drop of melaleuca oil, 1 drop of lemon oil. I do not have melaleuca oil, but I do have lemon oil. 1 drop of lemon oil in here, 1 drop of oregano oil. You can also do a drop of, this is only sold by doTERRA though, it's called On Guard. This is what I give my kids during flu season. It's called the flu bomb. And you put it in these caplets. There's a couple of other, incense, listen to me. There's a couple of other oils you can put in there. One of them is melaleuca and the other one is frankincense, but because I'm dealing with my children and I know how picky and fussy they are, I kind of keep it simple. And so I take one of these and I fill it up with what I just showed you. A drop of lemon, I do a drop of oregano, and I do a drop of On Guard. Put it in there. Now, excuse me. I do not have the coronavirus, by the way. I woke up with a scratchy throat, and that's just the way it is. I don't feel sick or anything. The way I do this too, my daughter has a hard time getting pills down, so she'll take a cup of hot tea and she'll take her teaspoon and let this sit and dissolve in the hot water. And hi, Ruben. Hola. ¿Cómo está? She lets it dissolve in water. You can let it dissolve in coffee too, and you can drink this. That's the easiest way to get these pills down a picky child or someone who is not going to drink the natural blood transfusion drink or do this 26, what is it, the 26 clove garlic soup. There are many ways, and one of them was this way with these gel caps, and you get your ingestible oils. And the key one, though, is oregano oil, okay? If you set, some people have said, well, I don't have all these oils and I don't have access to that. Oh, that's so sweet. Bless you. Thank you, Ruben. Wonderful to hear that. We need more people like you in the world. That perfect example of an Aquarian, of humanitarianism coming from the age of Aquarius. So anyway, if you don't have all these oils, the key one here is the oregano oil, okay? If you have oregano oil, perfect. If you have only oregano and lemon oil, you can work with those two. If you only have one, you work with one. If you can do all three, you do all three. But as long as you have oregano oil, that's the key one. The next one would be lemon. The one after that would be frankincense. And I don't know, not too many oils are ingestible that are frankincense. So you really have to check with your company. And then the other oil I said was melaleuca oil. Not all melaleuca oils are ingestible. So but your key one is oregano. Remember this, oregano is the key one. You can always add a few extra oils if you wanted just to change the flavor up a little bit. But like I said, I'm dealing with my kids, so I need to keep it as simple as possible. So I usually only do the 3 for them. And they were actually complaining about the Soluguard that's strictly made through doTERRA. It's spicy. I keep burping. What did my oldest daughter say yesterday? I'm laughing because, Mom, don't give me those anymore. I keep burping up like cloves. And she goes, it's spicy. And I go, well, that's good. I go, just drink a lot of water. And another remedy, if you keep burping that up, because it can kind of sit there and dissolve and you kind of feel it, have something cold, like something dairy later in the day. If you can't eat dairy, just have something like an ice cream or a popsicle to put the fire out. Horchata, if you like. That's one of my favorite drinks. Have a little horchata. That'll kind of put the fire out of these oils that are burning, basically. But it's burning. But I am not a doctor, so this is my disclaimer. You check with your doctor. You check with the companies that you buy your oils from and see what they say about ingesting. Don't just ingest any oil because they have to be high grade, and doTERRA for me is where it's at. That's the company I go with. And if you're interested in it, I can set you up with a distributor like I have. Those are just some extra remedies I thought of the other day while I was in Arizona. I thought, gee, I've got to get back on here and share this information with you guys. More drug cartels. It's nothing. I've been to Mexico. It is a very beautiful place. Contrary to what we hear on the news about the cartels, that's not the Mexico I visited. My godparents actually many years ago bought property there in Belize, and we used to travel across the border to what's it called, Chetumal, for our gas and our tequila and our wine. And beautiful part of the world, though. I mean, so there are some beautiful, beautiful places in Mexico. Just The border part is the dangerous part, but people forget how beautiful Mexico is. And I love the Mexican culture. And I'm in California, so this is like little Mexico. You know, I mean, I'm lucky though I've lived in California and gotten to have that experience, because even some of my relatives on the East Coast are like, what is this? So this is Mexican food. A lot of East Coasters are just now being introduced to Mexican food. They know what Cuban food is, but they're not Mexican food. They don't know too much about. So, all right. What I'm going to do, since I gave you the rundown on the stars, I've given you the forecast, I've given you some information on the coronavirus, I'm going to end today because we are in scary times right now. People are really freaked out. And so I'm taking a moment to pull an angel card for the universe, okay? And so the card that's come up for the world at large is Serenity. And I will read you what Doreen Virtue's version of it is, but what it's telling me is that in these scary times and what we hear on the news and the media, it's time to shut the news off a little bit. It's time to have serenity, go into seclusion. I've told you guys to stay out of large crowds and wash your hands and use sanitizer. That doesn't mean stop living, but the universe and the angels are telling us human beings to have some serenity, because the news is not giving us any serenity. It's feeding our fears. It's making us fearful. So I want you guys to listen to what the angels have to say. And I'm going to read this to you just how Doreen Virtue would have read it if she was doing this anymore. Okay, you are moving into a time of creating inner peace and tranquility. Peace of mind means feeling secure and knowing that you're always provided for, even if your logical mind cannot fathom how a challenge could be resolved. Peace of mind means that you are with God and will create a miraculous solution. So what I get from that is this. This is not 1919 when the Spanish flu broke out. This is 2020. And I have a lot of faith in some of my scientists out there that are really working on trying to find either a vaccination for this or not. But I think as a human race, we have evolved immensely. We are into holistic medicine now. We do things very differently than we did 100 years ago. Okay. Even the information I am giving to you right now, my vaccine is my tacos. I love it. Tomorrow's Taco Tuesday. Woohoo! Now you got me thinking of tacos, Ruben. Anyway, serenity. Stop feeding into fear. Surround yourself with positive thoughts and meditate. Say prayer. Whatever you can to get that negative. Don't watch the news all day long. That's the worst thing you can do. My mother does this. She leaves on Fox or CNN, whatever it is, all day. And you hear that in the background, and it's negative. It's still a negative energy. Turn it off. Get your news in the morning and then turn it off. Go about your day. Go for a walk. Breathe some fresh air. Do yoga. Do meditation. Do something to get your mind off of everything. Make your 26 clove soup, and while you're making a soup or a juice, infuse that. Put intention into that juice or put intention into that soup. This soup is to boost my immunity. This soup is to help. This soup is to heal. soup becomes more powerful. Anyway, have serenity, and all of you out there, take care of yourself. Be good to one another. I sound like Ellen. I think she says be kind to each other, but be good to one another. Ruben, thank you for all that you do. And Gail, thanks for tuning in. Be safe out there, everybody, and I'll return in a few days. Remember, drink your juice, drink your soup, take your oils. Oregano oil is key. If you have any questions about this broadcast, you know where to find me, astrologywitch22@gmail.com. If you like this, give it a like, please. And you can also check out astrologywitch.com. Have a good one. See you soon. Ciao.